let's put the skin color aside. You can be white, I can be black, but there should be love and unity among Africans. But some people also, when we are to help each other to grow together, you understand?
Right. Yeah.
But some people are not like that.
Okay. Good morning and pleased to meet you.
Good morning. Pleased to meet you too.
Yeah, I'm glad to meet you at Living Faith. What exactly do you do here at Living Faith?
Okay, I'm here in Living Faith as an assistant, especially to the teachers,
Yeah.
and also in a way assisting the headmaster because everything is just on him and he really needs help.
Support. Right. So that's really good to hear. When I came in, the headmaster said to me, "You are a Ghanaian,
Yes, sir.
Living in Cameroon.
Yes, sir.
Are you really a Ghanaian?"
I am a Ghanaian, 100% a Ghanaian.
100% a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
It is saying.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. So, just for the interest of our viewers, it is saying means
how are you?
How are you? And when you responded, what did you say?
I'm good by the grace of God.
You're good by the grace of God.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good to hear. For how long have you lived in Cameroon?
This month makes me a year.
Here in Cameroon.
Yes, sir.
I was just so delighted to see a Ghanaian living in Cameroon and also working in Cameroon. How's your experience moving from Ghana to Cameroon?
Okay, before I was not just coming direct from Ghana.
Okay.
I'm coming from, I came from Kuwait.
Right.
I passed through Ghana before entering here because what I heard is this is Central Africa, which I have to come here with visa.
Right.
So I have to go for visa before I was able to enter into Cameroon.
Do you feel that there are too many barriers traveling Africa?
With my experience, there was, especially coming here, it was so stressing. Especially, I was also having a baby and going here, doing this document up and downs. It was a bit
very stressful. So, what is your advice to the African leaders watching us today to make it easy for us to travel our own motherland continent?
My advice to them to make things easy. But what I know is Cameroon is not under ECOWAS. Only the ECOWAS countries that you can enter without visa. So I don't know about your constitutions here. And also the most important thing is there is no Cameroon embassy in Ghana.
Right. So how did you manage to get a visa?
I have to travel to Cote d'Ivoire.
Wow.
To go take visa there before I was able to enter into Cameroon. So what I will ask is, I don't know how they would do, but if they can provide or make an embassy in Ghana, at least it will be less. The stress will be less. That you can just go there and then you take your visa, you go for the interview, and then you can come here because it was really stressful going to another country to go take the visa. And all that. And some people also may like to come here. They may have families with them. You understand? And then going up and down, especially also with the expenses and all that. So if we will have a Cameroon embassy in Ghana, it will be very, very, very helpful.
Is there any particular reason why there's no embassy in Ghana? Do you know?
For that one, I do not know. I don't know if there's any reason why there's no embassy there.
You did mention about ECOWAS. With ECOWAS, do you use your passport to travel across Africa or within the ECOWAS community without a visa?
Okay, the only place I've been able to travel to without any visa is when I was going to Cote d'Ivoire.
When you're traveling to Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah, I went there without no.
So is Cote d'Ivoire part of ECOWAS?
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire is also under.
So with other ECOWAS member countries,
you can go without visa.
You can go without visa.
Yeah.
But to come to the Central African states, then you need a visa.
A visa.
Right. What would you wish that we do different to allow people to travel freely?
I cannot say that to make people travel freely, like within Africa. Oh well, I cannot say. The continents are just there. You cannot. There's nothing you can change. But if there's anything they can change, especially as we Africans, that we can be traveling or to be seeing each other without any stress, without any complications, or without these visa things, it will be okay.
Okay, that's good to know. Was it costly traveling to Cote d'Ivoire then before traveling to Cameroon? Was it costly?
It was not that costly.
It was not that costly. So the flights were reasonable.
It was reasonable.
And which airline can you recommend?
I used Emirates.
Emirates.
Emirates, yeah.
Right, and it was moderate.
Yeah, it was moderate, not that expensive. It was okay.
Okay. And how have you been enjoying Cameroon so far?
My experience here, comparing to my country, is a little bit different. But when you talk of the temperature, Africa is still the same. We have rainy season, we have sunny season, and everything is just okay. The only difference here is the food variety, because it's different this thing, so the food cannot be the same.
Right. So since being in Cameroon, have you been able to eat banku?
I have not been able to eat banku. I really miss banku.
Have you eaten shito so far?
Shito, I think I can make the shito by myself, but the real banku, no.
So which Cameroon foods are your favorite so far?
My favorite is indole and
yes.
Ero.
And Ero.
Water fufu.
Water fufu and Ero. Have you been able to prepare that as well?
I do prepare it.
You do prepare it?
I know, very well.
Right. You all know we are Africans. Africa is very beautiful. Our cultures are very similar, no matter where we are coming from.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, almost very similar. And you say you travel with a baby?
Yeah.
And how's your family?
Okay.
Okay. And the family back at home in Ghana?
Even though when I spoke to my family about this traveling thing, especially with the newborn baby, they were like, traveling with the baby was small, so they were like, somehow it was for the child. It's not like good to be traveling with such a newborn baby like that. So they spoke a little bit about it, but
are they okay now?
They are okay, yeah.
Right. So you are an adult, you like Africa, you like the continent, you see Cameroonians as Ghanaian, you see everyone as an African, and you've made the choice to move and maybe settle?
Maybe.
All right, I'm glad to hear maybe, but I'm also glad to hear you're considering to stay. How are you coping with the language differences?
With the language difference, I'm trying to learn the French because the pidgin.
And the pidgin, yes.
Yeah, because for my country, we don't used to call it pidgin, we call it broken English.
Broken English. Because
we are learners of it. We don't speak it at all. We just learn it.
Right.
But I'm not used to that broken English, and so the pidgin is some of the things when you mention in the pidgin, I don't know.
You don't know. So what languages are you used to back home?
I have my dialect. I'm from Greater Accra. I speak Gan.
So you speak Gan?
Gan.
So you don't speak Ashanti?
I speak Ashanti. It's like the Akan language is like a general language after your dialect.
Yeah. And that's taught in school?
You don't study Akan.
You don't study Akan in school?
Some people do, but I did Gan. I'm a Gan, so I studied Gan.
Gan, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. It was a good pleasure speaking to you. Before you go, is there anything you can advise any Ghanaian who have a dream of staying out of their own country within Africa?
Within Africa, in some way, from where I was coming from before entering here, Africans, we are supposed to love ourselves, but yeah, because we have. Let's put the skin color aside. You can be white, I can be black, but there should be love and unity among Africans. But some people also, when we are to help each other to grow together, you understand? Yeah. But some people are not like that. Okay. With your interaction with some Africans, they like to distance themselves from you. Some people I want to ask about how they are doing. Maybe let me give an example. They are doing any business. I want to ask, maybe you are interested in it, but instead of the person helping you to know, they will not do it because they want to be earning and making the business and making the profit for themselves alone.
So what you're saying is that Africans don't collaborate, they don't partner,
especially outside there.
Right. And when you say outside there, where you're referring to?
Outside Africa.
Outside Africa.
Yeah.
Because you've been outside Africa. How was your experience in Kuwait?
In Kuwait was cool. And then there's no issue with Kuwait. If you have your documents and you follow their rules and their laws every day, it's for them every day they come with new law. You just need to follow and have your valid document, and that's all.
Okay, that's good to hear. But what was the working conditions like?
The working conditions, every company has their hours of working, and some have overtime. And when you work overtime, you have to take overtime salary.
Okay.
So it was okay.
How was the payment like?
The payment. The payment, some in Kuwait, what I know is the payment comes from 25th to the end of the month.
Right.
Yeah. But some also exceed to the next month. It doesn't matter, but normally they start paying from the 25th to the end of the month.
So I suppose the salary depends on your job. How much you get paid depends on what you're doing.
And the kind of job you are doing, the salary you are taking.
For what is your advice for all the young Africans that you've met out there in Kuwait?
My advice to them.
Yes.
And I have really missed them, but my advice to them is, for the people that I have met, they should continue loving each other, and then they should not forget, they should not show love when you are with them. Even when you depart or when you separate from them, you should still, like the way they were following you up when you are with them, they should do the same thing. It will be good like that.
Is there anything you can advise them that they can come home and do differently as opposed to living out of Africa?
Yeah, they can come home and start your own business. As far as you are there, I'm sure most of them, they are working. Most of, let me say almost, when they work, they don't keep the money, they send the money back to their countries. So so you have to look for a trustworthy person that can keep your money well, because most, they will send money, they'll come back home, they will never meet a pin.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. They will come back home and they will never meet a pin. So just look for a trustworthy person to be keeping your money for you. And then when you come, anything you want to do with your money, Africa is okay when you have your capital for your own business.
Okay. That's really good to hear. Do you think that Africa is the future?
Africa really have a great future if we have especially good leaders. But sometimes too, you cannot depend on the leaders, because Africa, I always say Africa is Africa. I cannot go into details. So you just have to stand as a person, as individual, and do your own thing.
Do your own thing.
Yeah, not rely on the government, looking up to the government to do this, to do that, to provide work. You're also a person that you, especially as young as you are strong, you're plump. You have to be doing something by yourself. You can create something or your own, be creative, especially.
Right. So we're glad to hear that Africans can become very creative if they have the small capital to invest. So we advise all the Africans who are in the diaspora, if you have done a bit of investment and or maybe has been working all these years, you've heard it all, come home, invest, find what you can do, and trust. Trust is a very big thing. As much as there are very little people to trust, find someone you can trust, entrust your money with them, and you are going to make it big in the continent. As I said before, my name is Terry Foch. I'm a YouTuber. I'm from the UK, and I try to promote African greatness, and we're trying to tell our own African story by ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah. So
nice meeting you, sir.
No, thank you very much, and I'm very glad that you've accepted to come out on our channel. And thanks for sharing your experience of moving from Kuwait to Ghana and to Cameroon, and the struggles that you've been through to get here. Yeah, we really appreciate you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.